Hey folks, as we're about to embark on part 4 of the mold making or tool making for the Metalwork Masterclass, it's dawned on me how difficult this really was. It's been about 10 years since I've made a mold like that, and I was in my friend's shop. It's taken me a little bit longer to do this video, so I might break this up into 5 parts. We're going to see once I start editing it, and kind of hang in there with me. This is the complete series of what you must do to make metalwork, whether it be artwork or gas tanks for motorcycles or what have you, pieces for cars, parts for cars. It can even get into the sheet metal. It doesn't have to be aluminum, but that's much more difficult for this. So hang in there. We're going to probably break this last part up into part 4 and then part 5, where we're going to reveal the part as it comes off the mold. And then we're going to build the structure of the mold, which will enable you to pound the pieces out. It's a very important part of this, and it needs a lot of explanation. So bear with me. Coming up, part 4.
All right. So we got the gel coat on, and this is the test. What you want to do is not leave a fingerprint behind. You still feel a little bit of sticky in there, but not leave a fingerprint behind. This helps tack the material. We're going to start cutting strips of material, getting it ready for this. You don't want to lay just one big giant blanket over the top of this because then you're chasing wrinkles around. It's a little faster to do it that way, but you want smaller pieces and overlap them, especially for the first one. So number one, we're kind of there right now. I could start ripping material to get it ready for here. So I'm leaving a fingerprint, but it's not coming off on my hand.
Okay, our first victim of the day. I forgot to turn the camera on and basically laid the whole first layer on without the camera rolling. But what you can see here is I wet out, put one strip on the tank at a time, and very carefully you wet it out. You don't ever want it to get ahead of you to where the gel coat starts to gel and you don't have enough time to roll it out. So the trick is right here is to take your time. Well, you can't really do that sometimes. Make sure you're getting all the bubbles out. You wet it out real good, and the bubbles are the big thing right now because your layer has to attach to that layer of gel coat. Otherwise, when you're hammering on that, that's quite a bit of force that will break through those bubbles. Any bubbles you leave behind are pretty critical. Along that beveled edge, along the top of the tank, that's another spot. That takes a big beating too. So this is now, what I'm doing is patching in the parts that I missed on the first thing. So I'm putting one piece down at a time, keeping track of which parts I missed. So you're going to see that in the second and third layers too. But we turned the camera on that time. Back to our regular scheduled station here.
Okay, we're wetting this out now. This is called the wet out. As you can see, we put some resin on the tank first. So the first layer that goes down contacts it. And the resin comes through, the first layer of glass. And the resin's starting to come through it. And if there's a spot where the fiberglass is doubled over, the mat is doubled over, it's called a hairball. You can chase that son of a bitch around, but you don't want to waste too much time on it because the rest of your mold will harden up by the time you get to it. So you got to be really careful with your time right here. Here's where we're going to go. All right, take a big chunk, big piece at a time. So this is going to be a little hairy. No pun intended. We want to get that edge nice and wet. so that it makes the corner around the bend. So let's get him nice and wet. Don't worry about making a mess, because you are going to make a mess. It's guaranteed. You see that? Now we're wetting it out. We got that corner worked out nice for us, which I was a little suspicious of. We're going over a spot that's already been wetted out. And a little hairball right there in that corner. As long as you keep any air from getting into that, you're good. Another little hairball. Okay, we're doing everything with the brush as much as we can. We're laying this out. We're popping the air bubbles as we go through with the brush. I want to make sure this edge, we can't go back and fix that later. This is it right here for this edge. And you want to pay attention in your hand. It's a real hot day. It's about 100 degrees here in Florida, Central Florida. And you want to make sure you're holding on to the fiberglass. When that starts warming up on you, that means it's kicking. And it's time to set it down and start rolling if you still have enough time to do that. So try not to get it too far along. Okay, this is for all practical purposes wetted out. The wetting out stage, we got just enough. I think we can put a little patch in here. Let's go ahead and work this in. So it doesn't matter whether you're completely finished with the side or not. You're using the resin. This is all about the resin now. See how nice this is laying out. Lots of resin. Keep the hairballs from forming. Here we go. I'm probably gonna do this, and we can fool around and maybe use the rest of this resin up. I'm gonna take a shot at doing that. It's a little chancy. Get another little piece here. We're gonna do this. Hope we got enough resin for it. Okay, resin's gonna be cooking up here pretty soon. This is that edge we want to get to his guy right away. There's no coming back on him. There you go, get nice and wet. Soak it. Get the weight of the resin will help hold that down over there while you're doing the rest of this. Yep. We're going to get away with hopefully murder here. Just go ahead and get it out of there, because when it's in one big chunk, it's going to go fast, heat up fast. So here we go. We're going to go with the roller. That's it. You see that stringy, how the resin gets stringy over there. We are doing really well here. And it's roller time. We're going to use this 5/8 roller, or 3/4 inch diameter roller here, and this little one. See, what you're looking for is clear. When all the bubbles are gone, you'll be able to see right through this. And you're not going fast. You're going slow enough that the air is escaping from inside, from underneath, right there. All right. We are going good. That's it. You see that resin's coming right through the mat, coming to the surface. Now, this is for the little corner here. So we're going to stay away from that corner a bit. We can't get close to it with this roller anyway. Get all the bubbles out of there. That's it. Just like so. This is that hairy little edge, and we're push the resin out backwards. You don't want to spend too much time dicking around on some of this stuff, but this is a real important spot here that you can't go back and fix later. So, here we go. Now we just watch for any light spots. You see these bubbles right here. And take all those out and watch that resin will float right up to the surface, taking the air with it. There we go. So now we're doing acreage. We're mowing the lawn. Here we go. Okay, we're gonna bring it down there. We're gonna go like this. Actually, this is the correct way to do it. Bring it out from that. Push in on it a little bit. Bleed the resin into it. There you go. Oop, here's that hairball right there. So be real careful around that. You just don't want to bump up against the seam too hard, because we'll push in there and then there'll be an air bubble that we can't get out. Okay, let's push down. There we go. And don't be afraid. Your roller retains a little bit of that resin. So if you kind of push it in to the corner, that'll push right through the mat. There you go. We're getting about to the end of our allowable time constraint here. And if we did everything right, this is our first layer. This is the most important one, because if you have any air bubbles in this, when you go to hammer on your piece, it doesn't matter how thick the fiberglass is on it, you're going to blow right through in that spot where that little bubble was. So we're good. I mean, we could screw it up if we wanted to keep going here, but I think we're done. Just keep looking for bubbles, looking for air. Glass is kind of thin there. All right. We've got a little spot right there. I'm going to tell you a little secret now about these tools. When you go to clean these off, you stick it in if you stick it in the bucket with the acetone, it's not going to do anything. It's going to allow this stuff to exotherm in between the roller slots here. If you don't shake it around and actually clean it out as you go. So we don't have any on this. So what I like to do is wring this out first, so you're not contaminating I don't know if you could see that coming off the roller, but now you can see that you've just got a coating of resin on the roller. It's not filled. Each one of these cells isn't filled. And this is important, so I'm going to show you this part of it. I've got about an inch and a half of acetone in here. A nice flat bottom. You're going to roll the roller around. And you could let it sit in there. Or what I like to do, whatever residue is mixed in with the acetone will eventually harden in there. So what I do is I blow it out with air. So I'll be right back. Show you how this works. This is real important. These are real important little steps. I'm going to give it one last little dip. Get it wet. So the acetone's going to, with the air, it's going to carry away anything that's in there. Inside, this is a bad spot. If you get it inside that roller, it's going to Usually the rollers start to squeak at first, but they'll lock up. Okay, so now we got a nice clean roller. Do as I say, not as I do. This is what I normally use when I'm putting this stuff on. More of an enclosed shop, this is really necessary. Right now we're in a shop with a big garage door on each end of it, and I can almost not smell this stuff. So wearing this really helps protect your brain. These two, right here, they fit over glasses. I happen to wear reading glasses, strength, and they're not going to stop anything from coming through and getting you in the eye. So I wear these all the time. Whenever you're dealing with chemicals, anything where you're going to have an issue. So let's let that cure. I'm going to give it about 30 minutes or so, and we'll be right back. Okay, I talk about preparation being the important part of this. We've got our glass over here. I'm just going to show you our mat that we've prepared, cut into strips. I've even relieved a couple pieces there so it can go around corners, like so. And the other thing I forgot to mention, sometimes it's so long since I've done this, I even catch myself forgetting. We're going to sand that ridge that goes around behind. There's some little hairs that are hanging off of that, and if there's any hair that's sticking up over there, they say take a rag and just lightly put a rag across it, and the rag will snag on any of those little hairs. I'm confident there's no hairs on the bulk of the tank, on the large portion of it, but I see there's a couple where it bent over the flange on the back side of it. So I'm just going to scuff that up with some sandpaper, and we're going to go at it. And the other thing, once you get that first layer down, you can put 2 or 3 more layers on at a time. You want to be careful you don't put too much on at a time or it heats up too much. It exotherms too much. Not only that, but as you're adding more layers to it, they're going to kick faster and faster. The thicker that resin is, the faster it's going to kick. So I just had a couple containers stored in the refrigerator. Don't tell Mom. And I'm going to scuff this up, and we're going to mix up another batch, and away we go. It wouldn't hurt just to scuff the whole thing. That'll make sure you don't have something sticking up on here, because that's a pain in the ass when you get one of those. You can't put that down. That's the end of your coat. So we're just gonna hit that real quick. Just a little insurance policy. Little insurance here. All right. So we're all prepped, ready to go. We're going to catalyze. And once again, we're going to paint the whole surface so that it comes through the glass from underneath. So next step, MEKP. Do not forget to put the MEKP in there. You will have a big sticky mess on your hands. Okay, so here we go. It happens to be the temperature. Our experts over here calculated about 5 cc's per half quart. No more, no less. There we go. Stir stick. We want to make sure it's blended. We don't have to be real precise on this. Just kind of scrape around the edges on it. Get it in the middle. That should be enough. For polyester resin, it's going to what they call cross-link. So any of that catalyst that's in here is going to seek out that resin. All right, here we go. Brand new brush. We're just going to really want to put this stuff on fast. We're going to, there's no sense dawdling around with this. You don't have to be fancy. You don't want to play Leonardo da Vinci. And go all the way on the back. Give it something to stick to. Okay, we start at the top of the dome here and just let it kind of drip down as we go. You see that? You can see that or not. Nice and wet. And we'll do the flange last because that's where most of this is going to end up anyway. Okay. Here we go. Flange. We're going to pull it out. We're just about done with this anyway. This is about as far as that resin's going to go. Okay, I didn't show you last time, but I shook this out, and it takes everything out from between the, like so. And I don't know if you can see this, but there was a chunk of hardened resin that got stuck in between there. We're going to want to get rid of that. Okay, now the reason we're going to wait rather than start loading this up right now is because it's such a hot day. And I don't know if we're going to get through it the right way. It's going to be a big race, and then we'll probably screw something up anyway. So we're going to let this set up again. And it's you got to let it kick. Otherwise, if we put the new stuff on, it'll kick the new stuff too soon with the way the weather is right now. So this is something I could normally keep piling it on a nice spring or fall day, or if you live in a cooler climate, have at it. While you're a beginner at this, it's going to seem like it's going to take forever to build up 3/8 of an inch, which is basically what we're trying to do. This one, I'm probably going to end up with a 1/4 inch. I'm doing this for display only. And there's something to say about that. Once you take that off of the tank, you can put more layers on it later. You just have to be real careful you don't get any on the inside of it. So you keep putting it on. You might want to tack that flange down first so it doesn't warp, exotherm warp. So the best thing to do, let each coat fully kick before you put the next coat on. That way it's predictable. All right, layer 3. All right, so we're gonna wet this sucker. Camera's rolling. Okay, so we're wetting this out. This is still warm. This is going to go real fast. So Dennis is going to help me roll this out. So because we got to go super fast on it. Super fast. then we're going to run one across here. Yeah.
It's going to go.
You feel it?
Yeah, just go ahead and gob it on there. I'll get
It's
gelling right there.
yeah.
We're good. We're good. Go ahead and get that other one going.
Paint this on so it's soaks up. Here's your what you call it. There you go. There's another one. There's another one over here too. Okay, here we go. Alrighty then. Well, that's nice to have that last layer. We're on that last layer here. And this thing is going to cook. Now there's about 3 layers on there that are still catalyzing, so it's going to really heat up. And that is something to be cognizant of.
Okay, that ends the layup portion of this. We're going to let this sit for at least 24 hours before we can demold it. That resin has to set up good and hard. Probably will be in, it's that warm. We don't want to take any chances on it. I'll probably skip a day and we'll demold it then, and we will do what I call the reveal, where we demold it. We'll cut the flange and we'll make the stand, or what I call table, for it, and that will be in the part 5 on here. So hope everybody can come back and join us. It'll be just like Christmas morning. We'll see you then.